What is going on, guys? This is Trendkill, and holy shit, Gearbox strikes again. So, I logged into Borderlands 2 today, and it patched like normal, you know, a little update. Thought they may be fixing some stuff, and I noticed the patch was a little bit bigger than most of the other patches, so I was kind of curious as to why, but when you log in, the downloadable content option is flashing, and if you go to create a new character, guess what? Gaige the Mechromancer has been released a week early. Good guy, Gearbox. It's hard enough for most other developers to even release their stuff on time, let alone to promise it to you before the game's launch and then deliver a week early. That's crazy. So, kudos to Gearbox. This is an amazing company. I swear to God, they're quickly becoming one of my favorite developers. That's just awesome. Anyway, so I recorded a skill tree analysis video yesterday, kind of going over her skills and all that kind of stuff on the skill tree builder on their website, assuming that the Mechromancer was not going to be coming out for another week. So if I talk about that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that video right now, and if I talk about it like it's in a future tense, that's because it was recorded yesterday, unbeknownst to me that they were releasing the Mechromancer today, a week early. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking now and let you guys watch that video, and if anybody has played the Mechromancer deep enough to correct me on anything, then let me know in the comment section below, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking right now and let you guys watch the video. Enjoy. Now, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into her skill trees. She's got 3 distinctly different skill trees, and all 3 are kind of cool. Now, you've got Best Friends Forever, which is the one I'm kind of highlighting right now, Little Big Trouble, and Ordered Chaos. Best Friends Forever by the community has been labeled as the quote-unquote girlfriend tree. It's for the player who may be new. There's a lot of stuff in here, like you get ricocheting bullets and extra health, shield regen, bigger shields. You get, like, if you're playing solo, your death trap when he spawns will recover your shield 100%. All kinds of things that are going to keep you alive and make you feel like you're actually being a part of the game. But the Mechromancer also has 2 other skill trees that are equally as viable that makes her not the girlfriend character. She's just got that one tree that's kind of like the girlfriend tree. So then we've got Little Big Trouble, which is mainly focused on elemental damage, mostly on shock damage, which is kind of odd. Shock really didn't get much of a, I guess, like a big part in this game. Mainly everybody's focusing on corrosive and slag. So I think they're trying to give shock that you know, that extra boost to bring it back into the front. And then we've got Ordered Chaos, which I don't even know what to make of this tree yet. It's got some really neat mechanics, and it's got a very odd tree. So let's go through these one at a time. We've got Best Friends Forever. Close enough, your bullets that hit walls or other objects have a chance to ricochet off toward a nearby enemy. Ricocheted bullets deal reduced damage. Now that's bullets, not rockets, obviously. But what this is saying is if you don't hit a player or an enemy, something that's going to take damage, and it hits any other object, it's got a chance to ricochet. So if we put 5 points into that, we've got a 50% chance to ricochet, and the bullet damage does 50% less. So it's not like you're going to be able to fire willy-nilly at everything around you and kill everything, because your bullets not only have a 50% chance to ricochet, but the ones that do ricochet are only going to deal half damage. So kind of interesting. The other one, Cooking Up Trouble. While your gun's magazine is full, you regenerate health. So basically, when you're out of combat, you're going to regenerate health, and you can regenerate up to 2% of your health per second. So over a 50-second period, it's a full heal. Then we've got Fancy Mathematics, improve shield recharge delay and shield recharge rate based on how low your health is. The lower your health, the greater the bonuses, and those go up to 70% recharge delay reduction and a recharge rate of up to 60%. Now, I think, don't quote me right, I have to look at it, but I think that the -70 and the +60 are what Roland gets innately, but I don't quote me on that. So I don't know how I feel about, you know, how that's based on your health, but regardless, it's going to obviously keep you alive. We've got Buck Up, Death Trap ability. Death Trap restores the shields of one ally. So he's going to use this ability, I'm assuming when he's summoned, or I don't know. But he's going to use this ability, and one person in your party's shields are going to be recovered to 100%. So this is the solo type class build that you're going to want to run, probably, because if there's only one person, being you, your shield will be recovered 100%. Then we've got the Better Half. When your magazine is half empty, you gain a fire rate bonus. Now, I don't really know the point of that. I mean, it seems like when your magazine would be half empty, that's when you would want to conserve ammo. But I don't know. I guess that they're probably trying to plug this in with the Anarchy tree over here, and we'll get to that in a second. But I can see how they would want to do that. Anyway, then we've got Potent as a Pony, increases maximum health for you and Death Trap. That goes up to 20% for you and 10% for Death Trap. We've got Upshot Robot. While Death Trap is active, if you or Death Trap kill an enemy, it increases Death Trap's duration and grants both of you a stackable melee damage bonus. Bonuses are lost when Death Trap goes away. You get a stackable 4% melee damage per stack. Now, I don't know how many stacks that can go up to. I don't guess there's a limit. Maybe there is. I'm not quite sure. We've got Unstoppable Force as a kill skill. Killing an enemy grants you bonus movement speed and causes your shield to regenerate for a short while. They forgot their space there between your and shield. 5 points in that is going to net you 35% movement speed and 4% of your shield capacity per second after you've killed somebody. Then we've got Explosive Clap, another Death Trap ability. Death Trap, causes an explosion in front of him, dealing explosive damage to all nearby enemies. Then we've got Made of Sterner Stuff. You and Death Trap gain damage reduction against all damage types. Additionally, Death Trap gains bonus melee damage. 5 points into that, you get a 5% damage reduction, period, all over, and Death Trap gets an extra 15% melee damage. Then they've got 20% Cooler, which I think is odd because it increases your cooldown rate of your action skill, and it increases the cooldown rate by 30%. So 20% Cooler reduces by 30%. Seems like an odd choice. Why wouldn't they just called it 30% Cooler? Don't know why. And then the last one, Sharing is Caring, grants a copy of your shield to Death Trap. So it gives Death Trap a shield. That is really cool. So you can see how this is all about preservation. You don't want to die. Obviously, Death Trap's going to be stronger, he's going to do more things, and you're going to stay alive longer. So it's a solo tree or a girlfriend tree. All right, let's reset and take a look at Little Big Trouble. Now, again, it's an elemental tree, but you're going to see how it's got a focus on electrocuting damage or electric damage. So we've got More Pep, increases your chances of applying Burn, Electrocute, Corrode, and Slag. Electrocute has a 20% extra chance. Ignite, Corrode, and Slag have a 10% extra chance. Then we've got Myelin. I guess that's what that is. Myelin? I don't know what that is. Grants you resistance to shock damage. Also increases your shield capacity. That's going to give you a 5 out of 5, and that's going to give you a 30% shock resistance and a 15% bonus to your shield capacity. Then we've got Shock Storm. Killing an enemy with a critical hit causes an electric storm, dealing electrocute damage to nearby enemies. Electrical storms are also caused by Death Trap whenever he kills an enemy. So that's kind of neat. And again, it's that, arbitrary rank 5, whatever that means. There's no set damage amount. We've got The Stare as another Death Trap ability. Death Trap fires a laser beam and sweeps it across the battlefield, dealing burn damage and possibly igniting enemies. 451 more degrees of fire. Also lasers. That's kind of funny. I'm assuming that your ignite chance will be affected by More Pep if you have that. Then we've got Strength of 5 Gorillas, increases melee damage for you and Death Trap up to 15%. Again, on a non-melee based class, I don't know that I like the increased melee damage. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe it's good. Again, we haven't figured that out yet because nobody's played as the Mechromancer. Then we've got Electrical Burn. When your Electrocute status effects deal damage to enemies, there's a chance they will burst into flames and take burn damage. The amount of burn damage is based on the Electrocute damage dealt. You've got a 5 out of 5 in that. You've got a 20% chance for your electrical damage to burn somebody. So if you've got a weapon that's got a high, amount of damage, we'll say 95%, you've almost got a 1 in 5 chance of setting that person on fire with your electrical damage. So this is kind of like, we're starting to get into something like a Shock Trooper. Roland used to have a Shock Trooper mod, and I think Axton has Shock Trooper mods that you can get where they focus on electrocuting people. So it's kind of interesting. Then we've got Shock and Awe instead of Shock and Awe, obviously. Reloading your gun causes an electrical explosion, damaging nearby enemies. And you take that. The trouble ain't that there's too many fools, but that the lightning ain't distributed right. I don't know what that means. It's got to be a quote from something, right? But that the lightning ain't distributed right. I don't get it. Anyway, Evil Enchantress is another kill skill. Killing an enemy increases the damage that your burn, electrocute, and corrode status effects deal for a short period of time. That's a 30% elemental effect damage buff. That's pretty nice. Then we got another Death Trap ability, 1-2 Boom. Death Trap shoots out an orb of energy, excuse me, I hit my microphone there, at an enemy. If you shoot the orb, it will explode, dealing massive shock damage. Again, 100% more multi-kill. That's an AoE type explosion. Then we got Wires Don't Talk. Increases all shock and electrocute damage that you inflict, period. Shock and electrocute damage plus 15%. Are they separating electrocute damage? I don't know. Does she deal electrocute damage innately? That doesn't make any sense. Are they adding a new, I don't know, is electrocute what happens after you shock somebody, that status that stays on them? Is that electrocute? I don't know. Am I thinking too deep into that, or do I see that there is now shock and electrocute, that they're separating those? I don't know. Then we've got, what is that? Interspersed Outburst. That's hard to say. Not shooting an enemy for a short time grants you a stack of Interspersed Outburst. The next time you shoot an enemy, all stacks of Interspersed Outburst are consumed, and you deal bonus slag damage. The more stacks consumed, the greater the chance of slagging the target. Again, we've got rank 5. That doesn't mean anything to us because we don't know. Then we've got Make It Sparkle. This funny quote there at the bottom, but regardless, shooting Death Trap, this is interesting. Shooting Death Trap with an elemental damage, or an elemental weapon, charges him with that element, causing his melee attacks to deal additional damage of that element. Kinda neat. If you got a corrosive pistol in your, inventory, but you don't want to equip it, shoot him with your corrosive pistol, switch back to the gun that you are using, and go fight some robots. If you got humans, go fight, humans that don't have shields with fire, shields with electrocute. Obviously, you know how that works. So it's kind of an interesting thing, if you got somebody who you got a big group of people who are one type of enemy, then you could shoot them with a certain type of gun. Kind of interesting. That's a neat take on it. So I don't know how I feel about this tree. It's kind of odd that they're forcing that much shock damage on you, but it may turn out to be really, really well done. We don't know. We'll find out, I guess. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ordered chaos now. This tree is just that. It's chaotic. And you're gonna kind of see a lot of synergy between the skills, but there are 6, count them 6, 1-point talents in this tree. So your first choices are Smaller, Lighter, Faster, and Anarchy. Are you noticing that you only have 4 points in this and 1 in this, meaning you have to take all of them to move on to the next tier, meaning that you cannot get away from Anarchy, which you don't want to because Anarchy is the key to this tree. Now this is, oh, hey, how you doing? Now this is complicated, so bear with me. Anarchy, killing an enemy, or fully emptying your gun's magazine while in combat grants you a stack of Anarchy. For every stack of Anarchy you have, you gain bonus damage, but your accuracy is decreased. So you're getting more power, but you're going to be missing more bullets. So it's kind of odd. However, if you did this with something like a sniper rifle or a shotgun, something like that, your accuracy all of a sudden doesn't mean as much. So it's kind of an interesting way to go. Prematurely reloading, however, removes all stacks of Anarchy. Anarchy stacks are quickly lost while in Fight for Your Life. So while you're in Fight for Your Life, you don't gain the bonus damage you don't gain the bonus damage at all, but you lose the bonus damage faster, but your guns become more accurate, giving you more chances to revive yourself. So basically, you can reset the stacks whenever you like by reloading your gun prematurely. So you're gonna have to change that mindset of, okay, I shot 4 bullets, I killed that guy, let's reload. Because if you do, you're gonna clear your Anarchy stacks, obviously, unless you want to clear your Anarchy stacks. So it only gets more confusing when we get down to the next tier, and we've got a total of 7 points that we can put into this. So you don't have to take Robot Rampage or Blood-Soaked Shields, but we're probably going to. So we got Pre-Shrunk Cyberpunk. Increases the maximum number of Anarchy stacks that you can have. Anarchy stack cap up to plus 250 total. You start out with 150, so now you can go up to 400 total Anarchy stacks. Now, again, that seems crazy. I don't know if you'd ever make it that far, but it's when you empty a magazine or you kill somebody. So it's gonna add up kind of slowly, but imagine having one of those one-shot shotguns that's really powerful one-shot shotguns. If you've got Death Trap taking the damage for you, those one-shot shotguns might not be such a bad thing because you're not getting bombarded. So kind of interesting. I don't know if you need 400 stacks, but you would take this if you did max out your 150 easily. Then we got Robot Rampage, a Death Trap ability. Death Trap lashes out with a flurry of attacks. If one attack is good, then 7 should be elected mayor. So again, that seems like it would be pretty good. I don't know. Again, we're going to have to test this out. Blood-Soaked Shields. Killing an enemy immediately restores a portion of your shields, but you lose a portion of your health. Kind of interesting. You restore 20% of your shield, but you lose 1% of your current health. Seems like a pretty good trade-off. However, you don't regen health, so you're going to have to find a way to regen that health to make that back up. Otherwise, every time you kill an enemy, you're going to lose 1%. That will stack up pretty quickly. All right, so then we've got in the third tier, Annoyed Android, increases the movement speed of Death Trap. That seems like it would almost be a necessity, especially if you're going to be extremely chaotic with something like a sniper rifle or, you know, one of those big shotguns. The other one we've got is Typecast, Iconoclast. Whenever you get a stack of Anarchy, there's a chance that you gain an additional stack. So you've got a 30% chance to gain 2 stacks of Anarchy every time you kill somebody or empty your magazine instead of 1 Anarchy. And the game changer is Discord. Now, again, you're going to have to take this skill. Prematurely reloading activates Discord, granting you bonus accuracy, fire rate, and health regen, but you constantly lose Anarchy while Discord is active. So instead of your Anarchy completely going away, removing all your stacks, you now just lose them slowly. Discord can be shut off by prematurely reloading again. So when you take this, you gain 25% fire rate, 65% accuracy, and you regenerate 3% of your maximum health per second, but it uses your stacks of Anarchy as the fuel to give you those bonuses. So it's kind of neat. That's going to give you a way to balance your character out a little bit. So you're going to lose accuracy by having Anarchy, but you're going to gain it back with Discord, and it's going to give you a way to empty those stacks slowly instead of fast. So it's kind of an interesting little mechanic, plus you get to heal yourself. So 3% per second, 30 seconds, you get, obviously, full health bar. So kind of an interesting little mechanic they've got going on here. If we move down into the fourth tier here, we've got Death from Above. Shooting an enemy while in midair consumes stacks of Anarchy and causes a Digisplosion, damaging nearby enemies. Again, we've got a bunch of irrelevant numbers, but you consume 5 stacks out of when you have a rank 5, and you deal X damage, whatever rank 5 damage is. Kind of interesting. Again, gives you another way to, gain and lose stacks of Anarchy. The other one is Rational Anarchist. If you have 0 stacks of Anarchy, then the next time you would gain an Anarchy stack, you instead gain 25. So it gives you a jump start to your Anarchy build. And it says gain 25 Anarchy stacks for the price of 1. It's no free lunch, but still. Then we've got the Nth Degree. Every Nth bullet that hits an enemy will ricochet toward another enemy. Every 5 out of 5, every 5th bullet that hits an enemy will reflect towards another. Pretty cool. No damage reduction. That's obviously really neat. Now, this one is going to get clipped off. All it says down at the bottom is 0.6% melee damage per Anarchy stack. Now, here we go with this Anarchy build. If you went all the way down here and got with claws, and I'll read this in a second, and then came up and got strength of 5 gorillas, and then went over and grabbed the other one over here that is melee damage, right here, Upshot Robot, which I don't know that you could get that. Let's see. We'll have to figure that out here in a second. But with claws anyways, a melee override skill. While you have a stack of Anarchy, melee to Digistruct claws instead of your regular melee, and swipe twice at an enemy, dealing damage based on the number of Anarchy stacks that you currently have, and restoring health. The lower your health, the more health you gain. This attack consumes an Anarchy stack. So let's say you do have that big 400 stack of melee, or of Anarchy. I don't know. Again, 0.6 damage per Anarchy stack. So let's figure this out. If we've got 400, and we deal times 0.6 per stack, now we've got 240 bonus damage. That doesn't seem like a lot. I don't know. So that seems really bad, actually. Would that even be worth it? Am I doing that math right? That seems horrible. Yeah, I mean, that's the right math, because 1% would, oh, that's a 400, that's a percentage. So I'm an idiot. So it's a 240% bonus to your melee. So again, if you're doing 1,000 points of melee, you're doing 2,400 instead. You know, I don't know. Is that, oh, that's plus 240%, so you would be doing 3,400. But anyway, you get the picture. Kind of interesting. I don't know if it's good enough for to be an end tier ability. It does restore your health. I mean, if it's going to heal you to capacity, that's pretty neat. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll have to see. Obviously, we'll have to play around with this. So let's take a look again at some possible, let's look at an Anarchy build. So let's go ahead and obviously we've got to get these two skills here. I don't know how important pre-shrunk Cyberpunk is going to be, because I don't know how fast the Anarchy is going to stack up. Let's assume it's going to stack up a little bit, and let's go ahead and just get both of these skills and 3 out of 5 in pre-shrunk Cyberpunk. So now, Deathtrap's going to hit more, do more melee swings with his flurry attacks, and we're going to gain shields and lose health when we kill somebody. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to grab Discord. That's going to give you the availability to use your pre-reloading a little easier than just losing all of your stacks. So you understand what I'm saying? It's not going, I don't know how to word that. It's going to give you a better option than to just lose all your stacks, because now if you've got 400, say, and you want to come down to, say, 300, you can Discord for a while, get that regenerate of your health, get that bonus accuracy and fire rate, and then say you prematurely reload again, you stop it at 300 and start building Anarchy back up. It seems like a really neat idea. So we're going to take that. I'm going to take the, let's see, what is this one? There's a chance that you gain an additional stack. I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, you're only getting a 30% chance to gain that additional point of Anarchy each time you expend your magazine or kill somebody. I don't know if that's that important. So I'm gonna go Deathtrap speed so he can get that extra movement, so he can move around and tank a little better for me. Rational Anarchist, if you have 0 stacks, you gain 25 instantly. I do like that one because that gives you fuel for Discord. Then we've got Death from Above. Shooting an enemy while in midair consumes stacks of Anarchy and causes a Digi-Explosion. I don't know which is going to be more important, the Digi-Explosion or the Digi-Splosion, or the extra chance for the Anarchy stack. So I'm not quite sure which one to take yet. I'm going to go with the Digi-Splosion first, though, just because. Then we got the Nth Degree. Obviously, we're going to want that, you got a 20% chance to ricochet, but instead of a 20% chance, it's a guaranteed 1 in 5. So every 5th bullet is going to ricochet. And then obviously we're going to grab With Claws, because why not? It's 1 point. We got to grab our end talents. We've got 18 points remaining. Now we could come over here and we could get the Strength of 5 Gorillas to try to really use With Claws, but I don't necessarily think it's worth it. How could we get the most Deathtrap abilities that we can? So let's take a look here. We've got, it probably would make sense to go ahead and grab Resistance to Shock. That seems really good. Plus we're going to get an extended shield capacity. And then we've got, let's see, we've got Deathtrap ability. That's his laser beam. Obviously that's kind of cool. Do we want the Electric Storm? I don't think so. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab some health regen. I like the health regen because when we have our, where's it at? Our blood-soaked shields, as that's reducing our health. Now we've got, when we're fully reloaded, now we've got 2% of our maximum health per second coming back to us. Then we can get Buck Up. Deathtrap restores the shields of 1 ally. That's going to be pretty important. And let's see, I guess we could do the shield recharge rate. Well, we should probably take our better half here and then grab Upshot Robot. I think that would be a pretty neat build. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's going to give us our Deathtrap's duration increase, plus that stack of melee damage for you and Deathtrap. Plus we're going to get our With Claws. That's going to give us that melee. So we're going to get that extra % melee bonus, and we're going to get the melee stack % bonus too. Plus we're going to get 100% shield regen. We're going to get extra health from our magazine being full. And when your magazine's half full and empty, you're going to gain a fire rate bonus, allowing you to pour through that mag faster to get to your next stack of Anarchy. Plus we get our Deathtrap's laser, and we get shock resistance so our shields don't come down, plus a bigger shield. That seems like a really, really cool build. So I don't know, you guys let me know what you think about the talent trees here. Gaige is going to be an interesting character to play, and she looks a lot like Una Baja, or she could even look like Tiny Tina's big sister. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see how they put her in the storyline, and I hope to God she comes with one of those echo devices like all the other characters did that kind of gives you a little bit of backstory. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this build that I put together. Seems like it would be a pretty neat build. But if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me, and we'll see you later. Peace, guys.